I hope my voice will be clear to you. I hope my voice will be clear to you. Okay, it was lagging a lot because of the computer processor. Okay, whatever it is, in today's live video, we are going to look at what are the DDL commands, okay, what are the DML commands, what are the primary key, and what are the data types which we generally use in SQL. Okay, all these things we are going to uh, learn in this live video. All the links and the tutorials I had mentioned below in description. Just click on that link. आपको सब फाइल वहाँ पर मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले अगर मैं बात करूँ MySQL, I had taught you that how to install MySQL in my previous live video. If you had not watched that video, I had put on my YouTube. You can watch, you can access that playlist. I had mentioned the link of the playlist in in description. Okay, so you can watch it. Now, सबसे पहले मैं बात करता हूँ what are the DDL commands. Okay, so DDL stand for data definition language. Okay, so what it is, firstly let's create one query file. Okay, so this is the query file, and whatever I'm going to write over here is going to be the here I will write the query. Okay, so DDL is something when you are defining the structure of your database, when you are creating the tables. Okay, so you use the DDL commands. In SQL, you are having commands like DDL, DML, DQL. Okay, so we will learn, and but today's agenda is DDL. Not today's, like today we will learn DDL and DML both command. Okay, DDL and DML. Okay, so firstly I want to talk about DDL. What are the DDL commands? Okay, so DDL stand for data definition language. Okay, so here you can say, like, if we want to define our database, okay, or maybe our table, then we are going to use the data definition language. Okay, so how it is going to work? Right now I am not inside any database, I am not working with any database, I am just having the query file, and I will write the query. And for example, if you want to create the database, then how you are going to create it? So creating the database. Okay, to create the database, what you need to do? you need to write one command which is create. Create is one of the command, okay, one of the command which comes under DDL. Okay, so this is one command which comes under DDL, and here using this command you will create the database. Okay, so how it is going to work? Create database another keyword, and now you need to put the name of the database. Okay, so let's say lecture 2. Okay, so if I want to create this database, I will select this and I will run the query. Okay, so this is going to run. So you can see it is giving you, a green sign. So it means that database has been created. If you run this now, you can see here we are having the lecture 2 database. Okay, you had created the database using this command, but the thing is, here what you need to do, you need to access the database. Firstly you will use the database, then you can create the tables and you can deal with the tables, whatever it is inside it, deal with the views, deal with the function, whatever comes under that database. So firstly you need to use the database. So how to use database? So to use database, you will use the command use and the name of the database. The name of the database is lecture 2. Okay, when you write this keyword use, then the database which you had created, okay, you need to, you will be inside this database. Now can you see this? The font of the database has been bold. Okay, so it means that now you are in the database lecture 2. Okay, so this is how you are going to create the database. Okay, now what you can do, if you are having any database, so parallelly you can, you know drop that database as well. Drop database, I will create it again. Drop the database. So how you are going to drop it? So drop database, as you were writing create database, same here, drop database lecture 2. Okay, so this is how you are going to drop the database. So let me run this. Now just see this. I hope my voice will be clear to you. uh, there is some where my video is running. Okay, now as you can see here, what I did, I had dropped my database. Okay, now again I will create the database, because obviously firstly let me show you. If I run this, okay, we are inside the database, we are still having this. Now let me run this, drop database, and it had been dropped. Now you can see in the list of the schemas, I am not having any database with the name of lecture 2. Okay, so this is how we can drop the database. Okay, so now if you run this command use lecture 2, then obviously you cannot, because it will give you error, because you are not having that database. So how can you, run this command? Okay, so if you are having the database, then you can do that. Okay, now let me run this command. Now just see this, create the database, and database has been created. Okay, so this is how we can create the database. Okay, so as we are creating the database and dropping the database, in the same manner we can create and delete the tables as well. So create table. How you will create the table? Okay, to create the table, what you will do, you will use the same command which is create, and now instead of database you need to write the table. Okay, now as you had created the database, but you are now you are inside this lecture 2 database. Okay, so if you are inside the lecture 2 database, now you can create the table inside the database. Okay, before creating any table, you need to make sure that you are inside any database. Okay, if you are not inside any database, that is not the table, create table query is not going to run. So it makes sure you are having the database. Okay, now I want to create the table with the name of employees. Okay, so I will put create table, these are the keywords. Now what I will do, I will put the name of the table, which is the employees. Employees is going to the name of the table. Okay, so inside the table, what you are having the columns. Okay, so you are having the columns inside it, and what you can do, you can put the name of the column, and the column will access, you will put the value into the column. Okay, तो जो भी आप वैल्यू उस कॉलम में पुट कर रहे होगे, एंड यू वांट टू मेक श्योर कि उसका कोई ना कोई टाइप होना चाहिए उस वैल्यू का। जैसे कि मैंने कोई एम्प्लॉय आईडी लिया, अगर वो इंटीजर टाइप का डेटा है, इंटीजर डेटा है, तो वो इंटीजर होना चाहिए। सो दैट्स वाई फर्स्टली लेट मी टेक एम्प्लॉय आईडी। ओके, आई एम हैविंग द एम्प्लॉय आईडी, and you know, I will put the type of the data, like which type of data I want to put. Okay, so I'm saying I want to put the integer type of data. Okay, so this is the integer type of data which I want to put. Now let's say I want to create another column, and this column I will just put my employee ID. Okay, hello J Rao. Okay, hello sir, how are you? I'm good. Okay, so I hope you had liked the stream. If you are having any question, you can ask me. Okay, मैं continue कर रहा हूँ. I'm looking at your chats as well. Okay, तो मैं ये बोल रहा था, employee ID I am having the column. Okay, now here you can see employee ID which I am saying कि मेरा integer type का रहेगा. Let's say मैं एक employee का name भी ले लेता हूँ, और name is going to be my varchar type. Okay, varchar 50. ठीक है, what are they, what are int, what are varchar, what are they? Actually these are the data types. Okay, these are the data types. I will discuss the data types, what are types of data we are having. Okay, so these are the data types कि मेरे को बताना भी पड़ेगा कि भाई किस टाइप का डेटा मैं स्टोर करने वाला हूं। ठीक है, हाँ, क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हो आप। ओके, सो आई वांट टू स्टोर द वेरकेर टाइप ऑफ डेटा, मतलब वो टेक्स्ट होगा। वेरकेर बोले तो जब भी मैं वेरकेर टाइप का डेटा स्टोर करूंगा, वो टेक्स्ट टाइप का डेटा हो रहा होगा। ओके सर, सो इफ इट इज द टेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ डेटा, लेट मी चेक माई माइक। ओके, इट इज गुड। ओके, और मैं एक कॉलम क्रिएट करना चाहता हूँ, लेट्स से मैं सैलरी क्रिएट करना चाहता हूँ, और सैलरी मैं बोलता हूँ कि डेसिमल टाइप ऑफ डेटा रहेगा वो। ठीक है, एंड डेसिमल टाइप ऑफ डेटा, एंड हियर what I will say 10 comma 2 2 is going to be my decimal places. Okay, now this is the salary, क्योंकि सैलरी मैं डेसिमल में ले सकता हूँ। ओके, now I want to put another column which is higher date, और ये जो है ये मेरा रहेगा डेट टाइप का डेटा। ठीक है, तो कैन यू सी दिस, what is happening here? I am creating the table. Firstly I am defining like what is going to be the structure of the table. ठीक है, टेबल की स्ट्रक्चर में क्या होगा, कॉलम होंगे। कौन कौन से कॉलम? सो एम्प्लॉय आईडी इज गोइंग टू वन कॉलम जिसमें हम इंटीजर टाइप का डेटा स्टोर कर रहे होंगे। एम्प्लॉय नेम इज गोइंग टू वन अनदर कॉलम जिसमें वेरकेर मतलब कैरेक्टर टाइप का डेटा स्टोर करेंगे, और सैलरी इज वन ऑफ द कॉलम जिसमें डेसिमल टाइप का डेटा स्टोर करेंगे, एंड हायर डेट इज अनदर टाइप ऑफ कॉलम जिसमें हम डेट टाइप का डेटा स्टोर करेंगे। ठीक है, नाउ इफ आई सिलेक्ट दिस आई कैन रन दिस। नाउ what it is saying, it is saying something, no database selected. Okay, so I had not selected the database, use lecture 0, use lecture 2, I had selected the database. Now let me run this. Just see this, I had created the table. अब मैं स्कीमा को रिफ्रेश करता हूँ ना, जस्ट सी दिस, मेरे पास यहाँ पे ड्रॉप डाउन आ गया, और आप देख सकते हो यू आर हैविंग द एम्प्लॉयज टेबल, और इसमें आप कॉलम्स देख सकते हो। एम्प्लॉय आईडी आपका एक कॉलम है विच यू हैड क्रिएटेड, एम्प्लॉय नेम आपका एक कॉलम विच यू हैड क्रिएटेड, सैलरी आपका एक कॉलम यू हैड क्रिएटेड, एंड हायर डेट आपका एक कॉलम यू हैड क्रिएटेड। ओके, जय राव, यू कैन आस्क द क्वेश्चन वॉट एवर यू आर आस्किंग। Okay, so this is how we can create the table. Okay, now this is the one of the command of DDL. The create is the one of the command of DDL. Okay, now if you want to alter the table. Okay, so alter is the one of the command. Alter is the one of the command of DDL. ठीक है, so you can create it. I've been learning SQL Server for 2 months. I just want to know, can I get a job just after learning SQL Server? हाँ जी सर, you can get a job if you are good in SQL. You can get a job, obviously. Okay, now I want to alter the table. Like what do you mean by alter the table? Okay, for example, if I want to add a new column. Okay, let's say in this table. Okay, this is the table I am having, and I want to add one column. So adding column is the one of the task of alter. alter table. So how you are going to add the column? Okay, so to adding the column, what you can do, you will use the alter table. Okay, alter table and the name of the table. What is the name of the table? Employees. Okay, employees is the name of the table, and what you want to do, you want to add the column. Add column. Okay, you can add the column, and the which column you want to add. You want to add, let's say, email. Email is the column which you want to add, and what is going to be the type of data? The data type is going to be varchar. Okay, so varchar is going to be the type of data. जो आप email में email का जो data type रहेगा वो varchar रहेगा, और let's say मैं बोलता हूँ varchar 40. Okay, now just see this. If I run this now, I hope you can see we had done. Okay, this is executed successfully. Okay, now if I I had reset this. Okay, I had refreshed it. Now you can see I am having another column which is email, and I had added the email using which command? Alter command. Okay, so you can use the alter command to add a new column. What other task we can do? We can modify our whatever the column we are having, we can modify our column. So to modify our column, as we were using add column here, जो मेरा add column यहाँ पे दे रखा है, मैंने alter के साथ यूज किया था, सेम मैं modify का यूज कर सकता हूँ. Okay, so modifying the column. Okay, so how I am going to modify the column? To modify the column, what I can do, I am having the salary, और salary मेरा decimal में, ठीक है. So let's say I want to change it to the float. Float is one of the decimal values as well. ठीक है, तो what I can do? Alter table. Okay, the same command pattern will be same. Alter table, the name of the table, and employees. Okay, here you can see जो भी मैं कीवर्ड लिख रहा हूँ वो जनरली मैं कैपिटल में लिख रहा हूँ और बाकी मैं स्मॉल में लिख रहा हूँ. सो लेट मी टेल यू, SQL इज नॉट द केस सेंसिटिव लैंग्वेज, इट इज केस इनसेंसिटिव लैंग्वेज. तो आप किसी भी केस में लिख सकते हो, नो बिग डील, चाहे वो अपर हो या लोअर हो. ठीक है, नाउ आई वांट टू मॉडिफाई दिस, सो आई विल यूज मॉडिफाई. ओके, so modify, what I want to modify? I want to modify the column. Which column you want to modify, sir? I want to modify salary column. Okay, now this salary column, the salary column is going to be the float type. So we can change the data type and we can modify the column. Okay, if I run this, just check it once. We had modified the column. Now we are having the column और जिसका type क्या है? Float है. Okay, so this is how you can modify the column. And what other task we can do? We can rename the column. Okay, so how we can rename the column? Rename the column using alter. Okay, so alter के तीन वेरिएंट आपको देखने को मिल रहे हैं, एक तो modify, एक add column और एक है आपका rename. So you want to rename the column, rename table, alter table, sorry, alter table and employees. Okay, now what you want to do? You want to rename. Okay, you want to rename the column. And which column you want to rename? Let's say I want to rename EMP name. Okay, so I can put in whatever case I want, name to full name. Okay, now if I run this command, will it rename it? If I run this now, if I refresh this, just see this, employee name मेरा full name हो चुका है. Okay, so this is how I can rename the column as well. Okay, so if you want to rename the table, so you can rename the table as well. So rename the table. So how can you rename the table? So to renaming the table, alter table, and here what is the name of the table? Employees. Okay, employee is the name of the table and you want to rename it. To rename this table, and what name you want to put? To staff, let's say staff member, staff members. Okay, so this is how you can rename the table. Okay, so this was about alter command. This was about alter command. I hope you have been understood कि हम कैसे alter command का use कर रहे हैं. Okay, same as we were dropping the database, we can drop the tables as well. So how we can drop the tables? Drop table. So to drop the table, I will use drop I will use drop table and drop table the name of the table, which is employees. Okay, so I can drop this table. Right now it is not employees. If you refresh this, just see this. It is staff members, not employees. Okay, so I need to put a staff member. Staff members. Okay, so this is the table right now. Sir, where are you live from? Actually, I am from UP, Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so if I run this now, if you can see, I am not having any table inside this. Okay, so I had dropped the table. So this is how you can drop your table as well. Okay, so let's say, let me create this table again. Let me create this table again, and now here I'm having another command which is the truncate. Now how truncate work? Now truncate is actually the command to truncate. Actually, this is truncate. This is the command where, for example, you are having the table and you just want to delete the rows of the table, not the whole table. Then you can use the truncate. Now how it is going to work? Truncate. Now the name of the table. Now what is the table we are having? The name of the table is actually employees right now, because we had created table again. So we are having the name employees. Okay. So let me show you. We had created the table. Now we are having the employees table. I want to truncate, but we are not having any rows over here. If I run this command, it is executed successfully, but you can see still we are having the table. Okay. If I was using drop, then the table is going to be removed. Okay, this whole table is going to be removed. But if I'm using this, it is not going to remove, because if it would have any rows. Okay, so let me insert the rows. Let me insert one row over here. Okay, so insert into employees. Values is going to be first 1 comma, name is going to be, let's say, Rohit. Okay, so it is going to be this one, Rohit. Okay, now salary, let's say 3450.07, comma, hire date is, let's say, 02/01/2023. Okay, so this is the hire date, and this is the data which I want to insert. Let me select this and let me run this. Okay, so incorrect for column hire date at row 1. Okay, so 02/01/03. It's all right. It's all right. Nope. Still it is giving me error. Let me do one thing. Let me wrap into the double quotes. I hope it could work. Okay, so there we go. Nope. So let me do one thing. I will insert the data. Let me create the table, and this is going to be create table and emp. This table I will create, and here emp id, comma, emp name, varchar, let's say 10, and here it is going to be integer type. This table I want to create, and now let me run this. Okay, so this table is being created. Okay, after creating this table, let me put id and the name of the employee, and the name of the table is emp. Okay, now if I run this command, now just see this, the data has been inserted. Now if I could show you, we are having the emp table, employees table we are having, emp table we are having, columns we are having. Okay, now if I could show you here, now truncate emp, and here in emp we are having the data select star from emp. Right now you are not understanding like what is this select star from emp. कोई नहीं, I will tell you in like upcoming time, you can say. ठीक है, अभी मैं बताऊंगा how it is working. Although this select is the part of DQL, data query language. ठीक है, तो मैं इसके बारे में बात करूंगा, select के बारे में. ठीक है, select का यूज करके I am selecting स्टार बोले तो all the columns, okay, from the table name emp, ठीक है. So I am selecting all the column from emp table, ठीक है. Now you can check, we are having one row. अगर मैं इसका यूज करूंगा, just see this, okay, so we are truncated. Now if I run this again, we are not having any, we would not have any row, okay, so it was giving me error, truncate table. And now let me run this and let me run this. Okay, so there we go, we are not having anything, okay, we are not having anything. If I want to drop this, so I can directly drop it from here, because right now we are having emp drop table emp, ठीक है. So this is how I can drop it. So drop, there we go, ठीक है, ठीक है, we had dropped it. Now we are having this employee table, ठीक है. So these were the DDL command. कौन कौन सी थी मेरे पास? I was having create, I was having alter, I was having drop, I was having truncate. Okay, so these all are my DDL command. I hope आपको समझ में आ गया होगा, like what were our DDL commands. Sir, where are you live from? यूपी से हूँ भाई. Okay. Now after this is the DDL, okay, this is the DDL. Now let me do one thing. Let me take one more file, and here I am going to talk about what is the primary key and what is the foreign key. Okay, so what is primary key and what is the foreign key in our database. So in SQL is the relational database which I talked about earlier. Okay, in relational database, what happens? For example, you are having one order table, okay, and you are having one kind of product table, okay. So you order table you are having the product table, then you need to connect those table, okay. तो जो कनेक्शन स्टेब्लिश होगा वो कनेक्शन किसी ना किसी कॉलम के बेस पर ही स्टेब्लिश होगा, अदरवाइज वो कनेक्शन स्टेब्लिश नहीं हो पाएगा, ठीक है. तो उस कनेक्शन स्टेब्लिश करने के लिए वी नीड कीज, ओके, वी नीड कीज इज नथिंग बट एक कॉलम होता है, ठीक है, उस कॉलम को हम बोल देते हैं प्राइमरी की एंड फॉरेन की. सो व्हाट वी आर हैविंग, प्राइमरी की एंड फॉरेन की, ठीक है. प्राइमरी की क्या होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मेरे पास एक टेबल है, ठीक है, सो लेट्स क्रिएट वन टेबल, ओके, एंड इन दैट टेबल लेट मी डू वन थिंग. Okay, so let me create one table, create table, and the table is, let's say, author. Okay, author is the table, and here what I will do, I will put author ID, okay, and this author ID is my primary key. This is my primary key, okay, and I will create one more column, okay. The column is author name, okay, and this is going to be varchar 20, let's say, okay. So this is varchar 20, and here the type of it is going to be integer, and there we go. So what we are doing, just see this, we had created the table over here, and here this table we are just employee ID and the type of the data which will store into the employee ID column, and here we are having the author ID, the column, the type of data which we will store, and the other keyword which is primary key. Okay, so if I create this table, what it is going to be happen? Just run this command. Okay, so we had created the table. If I refresh this, we are having authors. Okay, now if I insert the data into this table, so how it is going to work? Insert into author. Okay, and the values is going to be 1 comma and let's say Robin Sharma. Okay. Okay, so this is the one record which I want to insert into this table. Okay, I can insert this record. Now if I want to run this, if I want to check my data, select star from author. So what is happening? I am selecting star बोले तो all the columns from the authors table. ठीक है. So if I run this, if I select this, if I run this, I am having the data. Okay. So for example, if I want to insert this data again, okay, it is giving me error. Okay. Duplicate row, duplicate entry one for a key author dot primary. ठीक है. So it is saying कि sir यू आर हैविंग दिस प्राइमरी की, ये जो वन प्राइमरी की है, ठीक है, ये आपके पास पहले से ही एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. क्या मैं इसका नेम चेंज कर दूं? जस्ट लेट मी पुट द रोवेन और मैं इंसर्ट करता हूं. विल इट वर्क? स्टिल इट विल नॉट वर्क. तो प्राइमरी की क्या करता है? जो भी टेबल में रो होता है, ठीक है, उस रो को यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई करता है. सो ये जो मैंने रिकॉर्ड अभी पुट किया है, ठीक है, इसका प्राइमरी की क्या है? वन है. मतलब ऑथर आईडी इज द प्राइमरी की. इफ आई वांट टू इंसर्ट अनदर रिकॉर्ड, आई नीड टू चेंज द प्राइमरी की एंड okay, let's say call mention. Okay, so if I run this, I had inserted the record. Now just check it, I am having two records, but दोनों का प्राइमरी की जो कि ऑथर आईडी है वो मेरा डिफरेंट है. तो जब भी आप टेबल को क्रिएट करते हैं, नाउ यू आर सेइंग दैट वन कॉलम, कोई एक कॉलम आपका प्राइमरी की है, ठीक है, तो इट मीन्स कि उस रिकॉर्ड में उसका रिकॉर्ड, जैसे ये जो एक रिकॉर्ड है, ठीक है, दिस इज द वन रिकॉर्ड जिसमें आपका ऑथर नेम रोबिन है, ऑथर आईडी 1 है, ठीक है, तो इस डेटा को, इस रिकॉर्ड को ये प्राइमरी की यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा है. ओके, इफ यू विल से दिस 1 ऑथर आईडी 1, यू विल ऑलवेज आइडेंटिफाई, डिटरमाइन कि वो रोबिन शर्मा ही होगा. ठीक है, यहां पर इफ यू से टू कॉल मेंशन, ठीक है, तो कहने का मतलब ये है, अगर आप किसी भी कॉलम को एक प्राइमरी की बना देते हैं तो उसका हर एक वैल्यू अपने रिकॉर्ड को यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई करता है. सो दैट इज व्हाई यू क्रिएट द प्राइमरी की. ओके, तो फायदा क्या है इसका? आई विल टॉक इट लेटर. ओके, सो लेट्स क्रिएट वन मोर टेबल. द टेबल इज गोइंग टू बी बुक्स. क्रिएट टेबल. द टेबल इज गोइंग टू बी बुक्स. ओके, and here let's say you want to insert one column which is book id और इसका टाइप क्या रहेगा? this is going to be int और ये भी एक प्राइमरी की रहेगा. ठीक है, and here what you will do, you will put the title of the book. The title of the book is going to be varchar, let's say 30. Okay, varchar 30. Let me put the comma. I need to put the comma, okay, to separate the column. And my author id, and author id भी integer type रहेगा. ठीक है, और यहां पर I actually want to link this table. कैसे? I want to link the table. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? I will use my foreign key. Okay, so the foreign key I am going to use foreign key. The foreign key, which is going to be the foreign key, my author id is going to be my foreign key. और ये references of the authors table का author id. ओके, अब इसका पूरा मतलब क्या हुआ? लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू what is happening over here. Okay, what is happening over here? So this is the linking the author table. Now you know what is happening over here. What is happening? You had created one table which is the name with the name of authors. Okay, now you had insert one record. Actually you had inserted two record over there. Okay, now you are creating another table. ठीक है, तो यहां पर जो बुक आईडी है, ठीक है, जो बुक आईडी है वो इस टेबल के लिए प्राइमरी की है. सो whatever book you will put inside this. Okay, whatever book you will put inside this. Let me do select star from authors. Okay, authors. Now if I run this, so we are having two record. Okay, let me put one more table, one more record. Insert into authors. Okay, values. Okay, now let's say I want to insert another third record which is author name is, let's say, Premchand. Okay, Premchand. So this is the another record which I want to put, insert. So just see this, I had inserted it. Now let me run this. We are having these many records. Okay, now what I want sir कि ये जो टेबल है, ये बुक का टेबल है, इसमें भी मेरे को कुछ रिकॉर्ड इंसर्ट करने हैं. तो आई वॉन्ट टू इंसर्ट द रिकॉर्ड इनसाइड दिस एज वेल. So if I do this, just see this. Now what is going to be happen? Insert into books. Okay? Insert into the books. अब मेरे को यहां पर बुक आईडी डालनी पड़ेगी. Insert into books values. बुक आईडी 1. यहां पर बुक आईडी 1 यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई करेगा इस रिकॉर्ड को. ठीक है, बुक आईडी 1 यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई करेगा. नाउ लेट्स से द record which I want to insert is the, we are having like, let's say 5 a.m. club. Okay, 5 a.m. club. 5 a.m. club. Now author ID let's say Robin Sharma की author ID है I think 1. Okay, Robin Sharma की author ID 1 है, so 1. Okay, I had inserted 1, comma. I want to insert another record which is second book, and this is going to be, let's say, Gaban. Okay, Gaban is the one of the book of Premchand. Okay, so I want to insert this. Then author ID is going to be 3. Okay, I want to insert one more record, and here author ID I am having 2. Okay, but I want to insert 4, let's say. Okay, so let me insert 4, comma, and let's say the book is Can't Hurt Me, very famous book. Can't Hurt Me. And here this is going to be author ID. Let's say I'm not having David Goggins because the author of the book is David Goggins. So let's say I'm putting 4. Okay, so and these are the records which I want to insert. These are the records which I want to insert. Okay, if I run this, it is giving me error. Lecture 2 books does not exist. Okay, so here we are having books. Now you can see if I insert these 2 records, will it accept? Let me do one thing. Let me select it from here. क्यों पूरा select हो रहा है भाई? Okay, let me select it from here. If I insert this record, table lecture 2 books does not exist. Okay, so did I not created books? Did I not create it? I had not created books. Okay. Let me create the books first. Okay, so foreign key constant missing column author ID. Okay, so author ID, this is author ID. Okay, so minor mistakes. Let me create the table. I had created the table. Now let me insert the record. Now this is giving you error. Cannot add or update child row foreign key constant लेक्चर 2 बुक्स. ठीक है, और इसमें एरर आ गया. ओके, एक काम करता हूं मैं इसे यहां से लाइक फ्रॉम लेट मी इंसर्ट जस्ट 2 रिकॉर्ड्स. ओके, दीज 2 रिकॉर्ड्स अगर मैं इन्हें इंसर्ट करता हूं, विल इट एक्सेप्ट? इट विल एक्सेप्ट. क्यों गाइज? इट इज एक्सेप्टिंग बिकॉज मेरे पास ऑथर आईडी 1 दे रखा है मेरे ऑथर टेबल में, ऑथर आईडी 3 भी दे रखा है मेरे ऑथर टेबल में, पर मेरे पास ऑथर आईडी 4 नहीं दे रखा. कैन यू सी दिस? Can you see this? It is already created. I need to select this. Now just see this. I am having 1, 2, 3 author ID, but I am not having author ID 4. I am not having author ID 4. That is why I am not able to insert this record. So, sir, how can we insert the record? I want to insert this record, but how can we insert this record? To inserting this record, you need to insert the author first, because author is your parent table. Author's values is going to be 4, comma, here the David Goggins. ठीक है, I hope the spelling is okay. Now if I run this, I had inserted it. Now if I want to insert this record, I need to insert it separately because मैंने 2 record पहले से insert कर दिए हैं. Insert into books and the values is going to be this. ठीक है, तो कुछ इस तरह से मैं इस record को insert कर सकता हूँ. If I run this, I can insert it easily. Can you see this? It is inserted. If I could show you, select, it was there actually, it was there. Select star from books. Now just see this. इफ आई रन दिस, वी आर हैविंग 134 ऑथर। ठीक है, तो ये ऑथर आईडी रेफरेंस किसका ले रहे हैं? ऑथर टेबल के ऑथर आईडी का, बिकॉज और यहां पर ये जो ऑथर आईडी है एज अ फॉरेन की काम कर रही है। तो कीप इन माइंड, फॉरेन की डुप्लीकेट हो सकती है क्योंकि वो किसी दूसरी टेबल को दूसरी टेबल में होती है जो कि एक पेरेंट टेबल को कनेक्ट कर रही होती है। तो पेरेंट टेबल कौन सा हो गया? ऑथर टेबल आपका पेरेंट टेबल हो गया, और ऑथर आईडी यहाँ पर आपका क्या है? प्राइमरी की है, बिकॉज ये यूनिकली आइडेंटिफाई कर रहा है हर एक रिकॉर्ड को। यहाँ पर यू आर हैविंग दिस टेबल, सो आई होप इट इज मेकिंग सेंस कि प्राइमरी की एंड फॉरेन की क्या होता है। अब सर इससे फायदा क्या होगा? इससे फायदा बॉस ये होगा, लेट्स से इफ यू वांट टू ड्रॉप द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ ऑथर, अगर आप ऑथर का रिकॉर्ड ड्रॉप करना चाहते हैं, लेट मी ड्रॉप द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ ऑथर। ओके, सो कैसे ड्रॉप करेंगे? ठीक है, तो टू ड्रॉपिंग द रिकॉर्ड ऑफ ऑथर, व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन there is a concept of cascade. Okay, I will talk this concept about later, what is on delete cascade. Then what is going to happen, if I delete the author, particular author, let's say I am deleting this author 3, तो इस 3 ऑथर से रिलेटेड जितने भी रिकॉर्ड मेरे यहाँ पर पड़े होंगे ना, वो सब भी डिलीट होने वाले हैं, वो सब के सब डिलीट हो जाएंगे। ओके, सो लेट मी डू वन थिंग, अल्टर modify table, modify actually column and alter author, modify column. I want to modify author, or maybe not author, actually I want to modify books, books. Okay, modify books, modify alter books, modify column. Here I am going to modify author id. Okay, author id and on delete cascade. Okay, so this is the one of the concept, actually this is the one of the concept. Let me run this. Books, we are having the books. Okay, books record I am having, perfect. So we are not alter table employees. Okay, I need to put the table, actually I alter table books, modify column, author id on delete cascade. ठीक है, so author id on delete cascade and this is going to be my varchar, obvious सी बात है। ठीक है, this is going to be 20. Okay, so 20. Okay, so you have an error in SQL syntax, like whatever it is. Okay, so I will let you know how this is going to cascade concept is going to work. Okay, so although what we can do, so far we have been understood कि अगर मेरे पास प्राइमरी की मैच नहीं कर रहा है, ठीक है, if I am inserting the foreign key into my child table, if it is not working, then what will happen? It means कि मेरे पास author में वो प्राइमरी की एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है। ठीक है, अगर वो प्राइमरी की एग्जिस्ट करेगा देन आई कैन इंसर्ट द रिकॉर्ड इनटू बुक्स। ठीक है, इफ आई मेक इट पॉसिबल कि अगर मैं और किसी ऑथर को डिलीट करता हूँ तो उससे रिलेटेड मेरे बुक्स में जो रिकॉर्ड पड़े हैं वो भी डिलीट हो जाएंगे। ठीक है, क्यों डिलीट हो जाएंगे? बिकॉज यहाँ पे फॉरेन की का रेफरेंस मैंने ऑथर आईडी में लगा रखा है। ओके, आई होप इट इज मेकिंग सेंस। We will let's discuss about how many types of data types we are having in SQL. Okay, so let me create one table, and let's say demo table. Okay, and this demo table, what I will do, I will create the columns जो सब data types को रख रहे होंगे, user id. Okay, the user ID, let's say, is going to be integer type. Okay, primary key. Okay, now we are having the integer type of data. We are having the integer type of data. Okay, in numeric, if I talk about, we are having tiny int. Okay, so if I take age, tiny int, so this is the tiny int. Okay, so the small integer, in small integer. Okay, now we are having एक small int भी होता है मेरे पास, experience small int is a one of the data type we are having. Okay, now we are having decimal, salary, decimal, which I discussed. We are having decimal type. Okay, 10,2, and we are having one another which is the float type, rating. This is a float type. Okay, so these are the numeric type of data which we are having in our SQL. Okay, now we are having the string type of data as well. String type of data. So what different type of string type of data we are having? Let's say we want to insert the name. So you can use the varchar. Varchar is the one of the type of data which you can use. If you want to insert a long text, then you are having the text type of data. Like bio of a person, if you want to store the bio, the text type of data you are having. Okay, if you are having the gender, then you can store the type of data which is enum. अब enum कैसे काम करता है? Whatever you will assign over as a male हो गया, female हो गया, okay, and others हो गया. So you can select the data from these given value. Okay, you can select the data from these given value. Now you are having the set skills. Now set type of data. What is set? Set does not contain duplicate value. Okay, so let's say whatever value will put inside it. Okay, you can pick the value from this SQL, let's say DSA. Okay, so you can pick the value from the set. Set does not contain duplicate value. Enum you are having enum. You can pick the value from the enum. Okay, now you are having date time type of data, date and time. So if I talk about date and time, birth date. If I talk about the birth date, now you are having the date type of data. Okay, now if I talk about the login time, now you are having the type of data which is time. Now if I talk about registered at, now you can use the date time type of data. So date time is the combinedly one of the type of data. Okay, now last update, timestamp. Timestamp is the one of the type of data where you can store the timestamp. Okay, now passing year. Now you are having the year type of data. Okay, so these all are type of data you are having. Now this was the date time data. Now you are having the Boolean type of data. What are the Boolean type of data? Let's say the status you want to show is active. So this is the Boolean type of data you can store. Okay, so these are the data types. Now let's say binary data. Binary data, like for example, you want to store the image. Okay, you want to store the image. Where you will store profile picture. Okay, so here you can use BLOV. Okay, so this is the binary data which you are storing, 0 1 value. Okay, now another type of data, if you want to store object, you can use the JSON type of data, extra detail, let's say. Okay, so JSON type of data you can store. Okay, so these many are the data types. These many are the data types in SQL. Okay, so if I run this, obviously I can create the table. Okay, so how many types? Tiny int we are having. Okay, then we are having the experience, small int. Okay, Here, let me tell you, if I talk about a tiny int is around -128 to 127. It can store the value -128 to 127. Tiny int. Okay. ये कितना वैल्यू स्टोर कर सकता है, किस रेंज में? It can store 32, 768 maybe, 768, 682 plus 32, 32, 767. Okay. So in this range, इस रेंज में कोई वैल्यू आती है वो स्मॉल इंट स्टोर कर सकते हैं. ओके. नाउ व्हाट अबाउट द डेसिमल? डेसिमल -8 million to +8 million. Okay. What about float? Float can store, the large number as well. Any decimal number you want to store, you can store it. Okay, so this is not, this is for actually what we are having. We are having one medium int, like if I'm not wrong, let's say other, so we are having medium int. Okay, we are having the medium int as well. So this was the range of medium int which I had passed right now. This is the main -8 million to 8 million. Okay, so this is the medium int. Okay, for integer value, for integer can store -2 billion to +2 billion. Okay, so these are the ranges of the data integer type of data it can store, like float data, decimal, and float value is going to handle. Okay, so if you want to create the table, obviously you can create the table. Okay, so like let me remove the medium int. Okay, so medium int is the one of the type of data which you can store. ठीक है, इन सब की different range है. If I create this, just see this. I had created the table. Now you are having the demo table, or now you can see all these columns I am having in my demo table. Okay. I hope it is making sense. Okay, so for this video हम इतना ही कवर करते हैं, और नेक्स्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम में आई विल टॉक अबाउट द DML commands. What are the DML command? I was supposed to talk in this video, पर आज के लिए इतना ही रखते हैं. मैंने डेटा टाइप डिस्कस किए, what different type of data we are having, what different types of DDL commands, how we are working with the DDL command, the primary key and foreign key concept हमने इसके बारे में डिस्कस किया. ओके, ऑल द नोट्स आई हैड मेंशन्ड इन डिस्क्रिप्शन. ठीक है, आप उसे एक बार चेक कर लेना. डिस्क्रिप्शन में मैंने सब नोट्स पुट कर रखे हैं. ओके, सो इफ़ यू आर नॉट लाइक स्ट्रीम, तो आप स्ट्रीम को लाइक कर दें. ठीक है. ओके, सो दैट वाज इट फॉर 2 days लाइव स्ट्रीम. मिलते हैं अपन नेक्स्ट लाइव स्ट्रीम में. ओके, थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग.